Hey everyone, how you guys doing? Grugs here, Legion Tactical Cutlery. Welcome back, troops, legionnaires, new recruits, to another awesome Legion premiere. All right, today in front of you, you see the off-grid knives Alpha Dog, man. It is a pretty nice blade, I gotta admit. I had some issues with the Cayman XXL, and I just want to set the record straight on that. And let me just first off say, if anybody wants to understand or know the story about the situation with off-grid knives and the XXL, please come to me. There's no reason to go to anybody else. All right. I know that a subscriber had contacted me asking me what the deal was because he heard it off of another channel. I set the record straight. There's a couple things I want to, set straight about these knives. And my experience with them, but it should be me, explaining everything, not some other content creator. Again, it may have been innocent, just somebody was asking a question, and that content creator thought that he could answer, but you know what, you can get it straight from me. All right, so if anybody wants to know, I'm going to try and explain it. If not, email me, I'll write it down for you. All right, let me know what you are all carrying today. Once again, I am carrying my awesome SOG Seal XR folder. Let me know what you are all carrying. Cool, man, cool. All right, now let's just go over some specs, and then I will give you my impressions of this knife. Let's see. So, off-grid knives Alpha Dog. Overall length 9.75 inch, blade length 4.5 inch, blade width is a pretty wide 2 inches. Blade thickness is 5 millimeters. Blade hardness is 62 HRC. Blade material is a Cryogenic D2. Blade style is a drop point. Blade color is gray or stonewash. Blade edge is plain edge. Handle length is 5.25 inch. Handle color is tan. Handle material is G10. Sheath material is Kydex. And the sheath color is, again, it's tan. So it's a pretty nice blade. So let me give you some background. I did a trade, not a gift, a trade with another content creator. He got a whole bunch of blades from off-grid knives. I had purchased a buy one, get one deal from Colonial Knife Company, the CE-400 and 154 cm. American-made knife. The other content creator got a whole bunch of off-grid knives that he was going to test for them. I guess they contacted him, which was awesome. And he wanted to send me, he got 2 of the Cayman XXLs, and he wanted to send me one to test. And I said, hey, look, man, I'm a little nervous about breaking it. If it breaks, I didn't really want to pay for it. He's like, don't worry about it. And then I came up with the idea, well, I have 2 Colonial Knife Corp CE-400s. I asked him if he was interested in doing an even trade, even though the knife, the XXL cost less. I didn't care. I wanted to do an even trade because it was a buy one, get one. So it was basically, for me, money-wise, even trade. He agreed, which is pretty cool. Now, he mentioned that I gifted it to him. I didn't gift it to him. I did a trade with him. Okay, so it's important that you understand this. And, we got them. We were happy with the knives. I tested it out, and it was going great. I was testing out that Cayman XXL. You can go check out the video. I was testing out the Cayman XXL, and it was doing great. And I was very, very confident in the fact that because the knife was doing so well, that I could do some simple tip testing. And I've done, simple tip testing, like plunging the knife into a piece of wood and then tapping it so I could split it in half. I've done it many times with way less expensive knives, but unfortunately the tip broke. And okay, fine. That same day, I contacted them, sent a video of the tip breaking. I didn't hear for a couple of days. Again, I tried contacting them again, off-grid knives, and then I started reading up on their, warranty, which was kind of iffy. At first it said lifetime warranty, limited lifetime warranty, and then you dig a little bit deeper, the tip is not covered. All right, but I still wanted to try and talk to the off-grid people because I like their knives, man. I mean, until that tip broke, let me tell you something. That knife was stellar. You go check out the review. That knife was kicking ass and taking names. And I didn't mind that the tip broke, but I didn't get customer service, man. I didn't get any email back, and I directly emailed their website and I sent them pictures. I even went to Instagram and contacted them through Instagram. I got nothing. Zero. So, listen, I'm a little upset. I spoke to the content creator. I mean, he was even nice enough to say, not that I wanted to, ever, because the deal's a deal, but he was concerned. He's like, do you want me to send your knife back? I'm like, no, man, no, I'm just telling you, don't break that tip, man. The tip is a lot, more fragile than I thought. Again and again, the only reason why I did that tip test was because the knife was doing so well. I mean, I was taking it to town. And, you got to figure, if you're going to make a knife with such a tip, that's a penetrating Bowie knife. People are going to use the tip, whether you like it or not. I mean, that's the whole point of that Bowie knife, man, Hopefully they will take whatever happened into consideration and make everything a little bit thicker, make the millimeters a little bit thicker. I love that knife. I think the Marine should own that knife, That's my take on the Cayman XXL. God, that would be badass that every Marine in the United States Marine Corps, officer or NCO, right down to private man, they should own that knife. That's a big, badass knife, man. And make it thicker. And that knife will be stellar. In any case, I'm a little pissed off. Nobody got back to me. And I'm like, what the hell, man? This is not very good customer service. Make a long story short, I don't know how they got back to me in a month later. Literally a little over a month. They got back to me. They sent me an email saying that they never received email or any type of information that my tip broke. And so they started saying that the tip is thin. We understand that. Great. I'm glad, And all I really wanted was to discuss it with them and then just get a new Cayman XXL. Because, listen, I come out here, I bust my ass, man. Us content creators, we come out here in the sun, in the snow, in the wind. We bust our asses. We got to edit these videos. And on top of that, we got to take a lot of shit from a lot of people. But, I was a little pissed off, man, I have to admit. Because I just lost a pretty nice knife, man. And it would have been nice if they they contacted me. We could have had a discussion and, whatever it was, I would have been happy with the situation. In any case, they got back to me a month later. Again, it's still a month later. It's over a month now. Somebody wanting regular customer services is going to take that long to get back to you. I don't know. So, and again, I tried contacting them through Instagram and email. I got nothing. In fact, the email right off their website, and I remember sending them video. So, I waited. I got a little upset, and I put up some videos that actually took off of the knife breaking at the tip. Some people were concerned. Some people made fun of me. What are you going to do? A month later, I get this email. They're explaining that knife is not meant to be used that way, which I don't understand, because if you're going to make a combat knife with a tip like that, you want to penetrate, right? So, fine. They says, we would like for you to pick out a completely other knife for you to test, and they gave me some suggestions. I says, no, thank you. I just want the replacement of the XXL. I didn't want nothing more, nothing less. I didn't ask them for anything else. So I get another email saying, thank you very much. We're going to send you the knife. We're going to send you a replacement knife, and we're going to send you the Alpha Dog. Test the Alpha Dog because, it was made for the outdoors, etc., etc. I really didn't want the Alpha Dog. I'm appreciative that they sent it. Thank you very much. But I'll be quite honest with you, at that point, I didn't trust their knives or, their warranty or their customer service. But don't get me wrong, I still like these knives, man. I really do. I mean, look at this bad boy. Look at that. That's a pretty nice knife. You look at that Cayman XXL, that's a nice knife. So, I put them away for a while. I'd be quite honest, I didn't trust them. I put them away. I didn't want to use them. I got my replacement, because again, I bust my ass out there editing, etc. And when a knife breaks, I'm hoping that I have that relationship with a vendor that, because I'm trying to test out their knives, they would be happy to replace it. Not that I expect it, but you got to have some kind of dialogue. But again, a couple people reached out to me and they're like, "Oh yeah, it looks like you got your knife." And I'm like, "Yeah, but it was a month later." It's a month. It's a whole month later. And anyway, whatever. So somehow, some way, some person, they just recently contacted me and said, is it true? Is it true that you didn't get your knife, or you got your knives or whatever? So I told them, I just don't understand how that content creator got involved in my business. I just wanted to cool off, give myself some time. I still didn't trust the knives. I kept my knives over there. I didn't want to say anything. Listen, I personally thanked these guys in an email. That's it. For me at that point, I was like, I'm good with this, man, So I got over it, time heals, whatever that saying is. I took out this Alpha Dog. I took it out to the just newly made secondary outpost, and I started testing it out there. And I can't lie to anybody. I have to tell the truth. This knife kicked ass, and it renewed my faith in off-grid knives. But it's up to me to tell everybody how I feel about a knife or whatever it is, because it's my channel. I'll do what I want on my channel, and it should have been up to me to tell everybody the story and all this stuff. In any case, this knife is badass. I didn't trust it at first, so I figured let me test it out. And I'll make a long story short, I trusted this knife so much after I got done using it, personally, I took it down to Florida with me. I was actually going to do this down in Florida, but you know what? My time was short with my son. I wanted to spend quality time with him. I did maybe a couple of videos because he had to go out with his fiancée or whatever. So I did a couple of videos on the side. I never got to do this one while I was down in Florida, but I trusted enough to take it down to Florida for any situation or any issue, and again, this is my story to tell. So if anybody needs to understand this even better, I'll explain it to you. Okay, you can email me or whatever. Hopefully this does all the explaining. But this was a free knife that I got from Off-Grid Knives, and I never asked for it. They just sent it to me. And again, thank you very much. And I did thank them in the email back to them, but I didn't expect it. Okay, I was happy that I got my replacement Cayman XXL, and I really hope that Cayman XXL is modified with thicker stock spine, etc. Even if they raise the price up to $100 or whatever, I think it will be 100% worth it. Look at this fly, man. These flies are like flying all over here. I have no idea why. So, I appreciate you letting me ramble on, but I needed to get this off my chest. Now, let's get into this very, very cool knife, okay? Check this out, man. Love mid-saber or high saber blade. Awesome shape. It is extremely thick, and it does what it says, man. This thing is a beast, and hopefully I could buy and test out some other off-grid knives, because there's a couple of other models that I do like, but that blade is short, stout, stubby. I mean, this thing will do some serious damage, man. And it did some damage. I put this to the test, man, so I trust it now. So maybe I will do a review on it and show everybody a hard use review. There's a nice handles, very thick stock. Okay, you can see how thick that is. The full tang. G10 scales, removable. It's got this little nice thumb grooves over here. Nice jimping. It's got that small little sharpening choil, which is fine. I've done some feather sticks with this. I've batoned some heavy duty wood. I haven't done any chopping with it though. So hopefully when the time comes to do the full review. I thought that being that this is a pretty thick, stout knife, I put on a nice thick piece of synthetic rope that I found on the floor, and it's awesome. I like it. It's a pretty nice blade, man. It is a really nice blade. I like it. Let's check out the sheath. The sheath is top quality also. Even the Cayman sheath was top quality. So check it out, man. I've taken this for hikes. Before going down Florida, it fits fine. You know, it's a heavy little beast, but it fit very well on my hip. And let's pop it in. Nice little snap. It's a nice package. A little rattle, but I don't think it's going to come out anytime soon. So pretty nice little setup here, man. All right, let me see if I can get this situated so that it doesn't fall off. For the user and the collector, you got a really nice box, you know, from Off-Grid Knives. They do a fine job with their boxes, although I understand the tool is what's more important. All right, there's the Alpha Dog, Coyote, or Tan. You know, all the literature, etc. on the box. So they do a good job with the box. Let's open it up real quick. So like I said, I took this down in Florida. There's some good storage, and we've got a whole bunch of stuff here. You know, and again, I do want to buy some of their other Off-Grid knives. In fact, I'm trying to do a deal with Isaac of Isaac's Knives and Knowledge. Doing a bit of a, you know, a little bit of a trade with him. I am trying to trade him for his Off-Grid Rhino folder in 154 cm. So hopefully I'll be able to make that trade soon. But you know, you got manuals here, and I don't know what else is here. I don't want to open this up. Stickers, etc. But a nice little setup, a nice little package. And you know, for the collector or the user that likes to store their knives in boxes. Beautiful little box, man, and they do a good job, man. Check it out. There's that Alpha Dog dude right there. Very nice. So, this knife is pretty badass. Now, I'm not very close to any pieces of wood, but trust me, it's a sharp blade. It is pretty sharp, and it's got some nice weight to it. Now, the only thing, and I know many people have mentioned or complained about this, is Alpha Dog is known for their thick handles. Okay, their Cayman is thick. I know that other models are very thick. That's the way they designed it, you know. And this one doesn't feel so bad. I know a lot of people, they seem to have they do have a bit of an issue with how thick the handle is. And you know, some content creators have recommended maybe just thin it out a little bit. I don't think they have. I mean, no hot spots. Feels great. Nicely rounded off the G10 handle scales. You know, whoever manufactures it for them, they do a damn fine job of with the scales. I remember that the Cayman XXL also had some decent scales on it, and that handle was also thick. But when you're swinging and you're chopping, those, for me, the thick scales come into play. They just do. I get this real good grip, you know, as you're swinging down, that momentum to hit that piece of wood, and at that point the scales, like, yeah, it works. Those who don't, you know, use their knives for chopping, maybe this might be too thick for you, but the jimping feels good. Jimping feels real good. It's a fine knife, man. It is a fine knife. I think the Cayman XXL is also a fine knife. They just need to take whatever information that they saw from my video and, you know, hopefully apply it. You know, I'm hoping that they come up with something thicker. I'll be the first one to buy it. You know, because I think that knife is a badass design. It was pretty nice. And, you know, it's just a shame that you make a design knife like that and not think that people aren't going to use the tip. It's a Bowie knife with a tip, man. People are going to use that tip, whether they don't use it in the wood. But, I mean, what if you're a Marine, you want to stab somebody, and that other person has, I don't know, armor plating, and the tip breaks? I mean, come on. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I've rambled up long enough. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope to some of those out there who had the questions in their heads, clears some things up, contact me through my email and give you a better explanation if this doesn't do it. But yeah, man, thanks again. Really appreciate everybody. Let me just bring awareness. Hashtag 22 a day, hashtag 22 a day no more. There are veterans and active military who wants to get out of the service. They do face a lot of challenges. Unfortunately, one of these challenges is suicide. So when you're done with this video, check out the comments section. Check out the description section. I'm going to leave phone numbers that you can call, websites that you can browse at. Heartfelt message from Martin Miller, Vietnam veteran, 66 to 69, U.S. Army. He's been there, he's done that, and he has a heartfelt message. Please seek the help you all have earned and deserve. Troops, Legionnaires, new recruits, thanks again. At the ready, troops, hold the line. Enjoy.